Hi, this is Soumya from Kanun Gurus, and today we'll know about environmental crime is a serious crime not exclusively to the current society yet additionally to the upcoming age of people, creatures, and plants. The term environmental crime does not have a universally accepted definition, and in most instances, the definition is based on the convenience of the interpretation. The genesis of such an idea can be owed to the deleterious acts or omissions that are responsible for the violation of the environmental law. According to the United Nations Crime and Justice Research Institute, environmental crimes encompass a broad list of illicit activities, including illegal trade in wildlife, smuggling of ozone depletion substances, illicit trading of hazardous waste, illegal, unregulated, and unemployed fishing, and illegal logging and trade in timber. Legally speaking, for an act or omission to be categorized as environmental crime, it should cause direct or indirect damage to the environment and be prohibited by the law. The 5 serious environmental crimes are: number 1 is the wild animal traffic. The third largest illegal business in the world after drug and arms trafficking is wild animal traffic, raises a serious threat to the world's biodiversity survival. We can find a few actors engaged in this crime. However, buying are among the main ones, as this crime would vanish in the event that supply and the excessive cost that individuals will get to pay for them on the black market cease to exist. As an unpleasant side note, the more endangered the species is, the higher the cost for it. The most requested species are tropical birds, parrots, macaws, etc., anarchids, some type of tarantulas, monkeys, chipmunkins, chimpanzees, lemurs, and so forth. Number 2 is the indiscriminate logging. The main cause of deforestation, the Amazon destruction, the largest rainforest in the world, speeded up in 2013 with a 29% rise in deforestation. According to the Brazilian government, the uncontrolled logging to get wood for furniture or other woods or goods or even for farmlands is the most serious cause of this environmental crime. Number 3 is electronic waste. Mismanagement in the so-called developed countries. There are up to 50 million tons of electronic waste every year. Computers, TV sets, mobile phones, appliances, etc. And up to 75% of these are estimated to leave the official circuit, and for a good deal of them are illegally exported to Africa, China, or India. It is the case of Ghana's rubbish dump, a largest electronic waste dump coming from the west. Finning. 100 million sharks are captured every year by specialized ships. Up to 70 million of them are captured to only have their fins cut off alive on the ship. And the kilogram of a ship fin is above 600 euros in the Asian market. The finning trade is patently obvious. Besides being beautiful and strong creatures, sharks are essential animals for the trophic chain in the ocean and therefore essential for their survival. Dumping in rivers and aquifers. This kind of environmental crime is most often caused by companies, factories, and public administrations. Toxic waste comes from factories usually dumped and in a controlled way, but this is not always the case. In these cases, waste is uncontrollably released into the environment, while at the same time polluting rivers, lakes, aquifers. Under the environmental crime category, India as a whole reportedly 61,767 cases in 2020. This was an increase in 78.1% in comparison to cases in 2019. This excluded 7,154 cases pending since 2019. Tamil Nadu reported the country's highest number of environmental related crimes. In 2020, the state registered 42,000 cases, which was more than 3 times the number of cases registered in 2019. Rajasthan came second among the states in 9543 cases registered in 2020 and 2019. The number was 10782 cases. Uttar Pradesh came third with 2981 cases in 2020. In 2019, the state registered 1882 cases. Statutory provisions in the Indian Penal Code. The Indian Penal Code 1860 section 268 accommodates for the offences of the public nuisance. Fouling the water of public spring or supply is considered to be an environmental crime under section 277 of the IPC. Under this section, the voluntary corrupt or foul of the water of any public spring or reservoir is an offence, and the person held liable would be punished with imprisonment of maximum 3 terms or maximum of fine of rupees 500 rupees or with both. The making of an atmosphere noxious to health is punishable under IPC 278. The CPC, the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 says Chapter X of the CPC 1973 deals with the maintenance of public order and tranquility. Part B and Part C enumerates the provisions relating to public nuisance and the current cases of the nuisances and the apprehended danger respectively, both relevant to be considered for environmental protection. Section 133 Part B of the CPC says accommodates the restrictive order for the evacuation of the nuisance. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 says Section 51(1) of the Act says that any person who contravenes any provisions of this Act or order made thereunder shall be punishable with imprisonment of a term of 3 years or may a fine which extend 25,000 or both. Some remarkable principles and doctrines propounded by the Indian judiciary like the doctrine of absolute liability, polluter pays principle, precautionary principle, public trust doctrine, doctrine of sustainable development, etc. for the protection of the environment. The judiciary attempts to fill in the loopholes where they are in a frill in the regulation. Thank you.